So back in 1 John 3, I want to talk about this edification process of the building up of a son. A baby's born, he's a full son on day one, but he's an immature baby. He must grow up inside that nature he has. Or you would say edified. We don't need to fill him with knowledge that is going to puff him up and make him think he's somewhere in God that he's not. But we actually want to build him up into this son. So 1 John 3, verse 1, behold what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Man, that's powerful. Therefore the world knows us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. That's talking about the day of glorification. But listen, if you're born again in, say you're born again right at this moment, 2022, and say, for example, Jesus is going to come back. I know we don't know the time and the day, but say he's going to come back in 20 years. So here you're born 2022 and he comes back in 2042. What are you going to do with yourself for these 20 years before that day of glorification? In other words, on that day of glorification, it says you're going to be like him because you're going to see him as he is. But listen, a lot of people who are saved, they don't make it throughout the journey of their life to when they die and should go to heaven, or say they live their born-again life like my example and Jesus returns. In other words, so many people fall away in that time in between, either going to heaven or Jesus returning. So, and it's in that span of time where, though when you're born again, you're a full son on day one, you must be edified and matured in your faith. You must be built up as this son to make sure you get to that day of either his return or that you stay in Christ all the journey of your life until you die and go to heaven. And the reason I want to say all that is, so you're born again, we're waiting for the day of glorification, but what is what happens between now and then should be a constant, always changing of a glory to glory to glory to glory. What? Until the day of glory where we see Jesus as he is, because we're like him. So in other words, to get to that day, to get to the return of Christ, we always must be changing from glory to glory until that last change to glory is the glorification of our bodies. We see him as he is, and we become like him. So that same process should be happening in us on a daily basis. We should be constantly being built up by seeing who he is and then conforming to who he is, to always continually walk with him in more and more of a state of a maturity. And of course, all that culminates in the glorification of our bodies when we see him as he is when he returns, and we're changed into an image just like him. That which is going to happen on the day of glorification, that should be happening on the inside of us from glory to glory to glory. And he says that in the very next verse, 1 John 3:3. Well, let me read 2 again, and then we'll go into 3. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And here we go. And every man that has this hope of Jesus returning to glorify him, purifies himself even as he is pure. And when he says purify himself, that is synonymous with edifies himself.